Coach, if you would, opening remarks.
Just a really good effort on our guys' part. I thought, other than a few minutes in each half, that we were pretty locked in. I thought it was the best job we did of following the plan that the staff, the assistants get ready for them and their scouts. Obviously, Evansville's really good. They have 2 of the elite players in the league and a bunch of other really good role players. And Jalen Brown has gotten so much better, which makes them awfully tough to defend. We did a good job. We did a good job against them. They had 40-plus free throws at their place. They got half of that here. We had to, big focus was not giving up transition baskets and then playing foul-free. And guys followed the plan. I thought for one on offense, we made shots. I mean, that's just something that's a pretty easy cure for a lot of things. But when you excuse me, when you take good shots, they're more often than not going to go in. And I commend Brenton, who's a guy that I'm on all the time about the kind of shots he takes, but he got going big time from the start of the game, and he was very unselfish the rest of the game. So a lot of good efforts. Our bench really picked us up and did a lot of good things. I thought Murph was very, very tough against the best center in the league in Makavicius, and a really good team win.
Greg, the response that you got from the team after the game at Southern, which was ragged, is that maybe the biggest thing that you're satisfied with coming out of this?
Yeah, you go to Wichita, and I doubt anybody's going to win in there, and they're really good, and Southern is awfully good too, but we did not play very well in that game, and you give them a lot of credit. And just really what I've been thinking about myself in between there is, how are they going to respond? How are we going to respond? We need to be more together. Put that on the grease board the last couple of days, and I thought today for 40 minutes was probably the most together we've been at both ends of the floor, and that's what it takes. That's what it takes to be able to beat a good team like Evansville, even when the shots aren't, because we talked about at halftime. Guys, we're not going to make every shot in the second half. We're going to have to still defend. We're going to have to get stops and play without fouling. Didn't get off to a great start in the second half, and had to burn a timeout. But other than that, we were pretty together for 40 minutes, and probably the most complete 40 minutes we played.
When shots fall like they do from the beginning of the game, that just is such a. Can you just address how big of a tonic that is in terms of every aspect of the game? Because you get off to that, firecracker start that you guys got off to. I mean, how much does that help?
Well, the crowd gets into it. And for one, I got to thank the crowd. I know how many Colts and Peyton Manning fans we have in here, and I really appreciated the great crowd that we had today. I know Evansville, they brought a lot of people in, which they should. They should travel well. But it is, it happens to everybody. One guy hits a shot, then the next guy's a little more confident taking the shots. You're not thinking about that. You're not worrying about it. We've been guilty of a lot of times this year of letting missed shots affect us on the defensive end, and they went in tonight, and that probably helped our defense as well. We just got to be more consistent with that. But we made a bunch of threes, and anybody that does that's probably more often than not going to win a game.
It wasn't just the beginning of the game. I mean, a lot of threes were hit to rebuild gaps. Right before halftime, after Evansville made a run at the beginning of the second half, a few other times in the game. It wasn't like one big flurry of threes. I mean, it was consistent throughout the whole game. That had to be gratifying.
It is, and I think it was because our offense was better. In the second half down there, we shot quick. We didn't take good shots, and they're such a good, they're so well schooled defensively. You have to pick and choose. They're going to help from some guys. So that guy whose guys leaving him to help, he's got to have the confidence to catch it, knock it down, or drive right off it. They got the great rim protector and Big Mock in there, so you're not going to get all the way to the rim. You need to drive and dish it, and they don't help off Matt very much, so he had to see when the offense was coming. We're a hard team to guard, for one, when shots go in, but if we get to the paint, we really share it and have more patience like we did today. It just makes your offense so much better, and the end result is more shots went in than they normally.
Gideus only took 5 shots in the game. Is that maybe in illustration? It wasn't like a lockdown defensive performance, but it was a good defensive performance. Is that maybe where it was felt the most?
I thought Murph did a great job against him. I think when Amandre went in, that's a tough matchup. I mean, that's a inexperienced freshman going against the best center in the league, and Murph just fought him. Murph really fought him. We didn't want to give him anything easy. He gets dump downs off of stuff, off their tight cuts, and he gets a lot of offensive rebounds. He went 3. That's about as good as you're going to do against him. But Murph fought him really good, and then when he's coming to help, we try to make him come to help. we got to take advantage of that too and draw him and help. So making him work at both ends of the floor. He and Valentine play a lot of minutes, you know, and we tried to throw different bodies at him. And I just thought I'll give Murph most of the credit on that. He did a really good job. And we didn't give him as many easy ones as last time.
Yeah, Gideon seems to bring the best out of Murph. I mean, Murph played him pretty well down there too. It was kind of lost in the loss, but you know, is that? I mean, you want to see your players rise to a challenge, but is that? Would you rather see Murph bring that kind of intensity all the time?
Murph, he's got pride, you know, and he knows how good that guy is, and he has no fear of any of these people that we're going to play, and you know, he knows he's playing with a Devontae and Christian, and those guys are locked into the game plan all the time, and they'll get on Murph about maybe not doing what he needs to do as far as our plan, and what we have to help them though, because everybody runs ball screens, and when you ball screen, the big's got to help to the guard enough. When you got Mock rolling to the rim and you're leaving him to go help, then some of the guards got to go in there. We talk about winning that fight, getting there and fight him. Evansville probably does as good a job as anybody in the league in that. But he had help, but I really thought he did a great job fighting him.
Anything else for Coach?
Coach, talk a little bit about Murphy's impact on the team on the offensive side of the floor. Obviously only put up 4 points today, but he had those rebounds and kept the second chances alive. How big is that on the offense?
He's a work in progress on that, but we have to throw it in there. I mean, he's 280 pounds. I mean, we got to make him work, even if he's just bodying him and fighting him, even if Murph gets his shot blocked. You have to keep throwing it in there. Lou does a great job with our bigs. They're all getting a lot better. Murph's just got to slow down in there a little bit. They double teamed him a couple times, and he held on to it too long, but he's so big and strong, he didn't think anybody's going to be able to take it out of his hands. So he's going to keep learning. He's going to keep getting better. But when those guys are open, we have to throw it in there to help collapse the defense a little bit.
Greg, can you address? You guys go to 5-3 in conference. Very difficult week. I mean, you played all 3 one-loss or no-loss teams in the league. You come out of it, even though you would have rather had a couple more wins. You know, do you feel like you came out of a pretty tough stretch in decent shape?
Yeah, I kind of do. You know, you look at it and you go back through and see the teams that we've played, and we have had a difficult start, probably the most difficult of anyone in the league. And we're +1. You know, we were one above of what you really need to do. We need to be able to go on the road and win tough games. We need to get ready and beat Missouri State in here on Wednesday. But the biggest thing with us is continuing to get better, because you want to be getting better throughout the season and towards the end of the year. And we're going to have to improve a lot to be able to hang in the race the way some of these other teams are doing. But I like us. These guys came through some difficult times. We handled adversity better than what we had today, and better than what we did at Southern. And we're going to have to continue to do it, continue to improve. But being 5-3, you're not in first, so you want to be in first place and you want to win every game. But I know today we beat a very good, very well coached team.
Anything else? Coach, thank you.
Thank you, guys.